Network Entertainment.
Hi girls and boys! Kami ang
Ladyboses!
Mga sisteranes!
CR tayo, let's go!
Let's go! Our guest for today is a doctor, Dr. Gang Badoy Capati. She is presently a Neuroscience Clinical Research Fellow. Wow. Fellow.
Ano yung fellow? Fellow,
Fellow
for
siya.
she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow.
Sige, tuloy nyo! Seryoso yung usapan natin ngayon eh. So she's a clinical research fellow in alliance with Boston's Trauma Research Foundation. She trained as a mental health Kailangan nyo to. She trained as a mental health therapist for more than a decade inside the maximum security prison in Muntinlupa. She was first assigned to serve the inmate population who were moved into reclusion perpetua from death row. Wow. Dr. Badoy Capati founded Rock Ed Philippines in 2005, an NGO initially focused on aggressive volunteerism campaign guided by the MDGs on its first 10 years. And for the latter... And for the latter half, switch its focus on mental health initiatives. She is now the lead trauma therapist. Ito, kailangan nyo rin to, of Project Steady Asia, PSA, a mental health clinic for C-suite C-suite executives working with partner psychiatrists. So, ang ganda ng program nila kasi every paying client under PSA's care sponsors another individual, mostly a member of the PNP or a public teacher who cannot afford therapy.
Ang ganda nga.
Ang
So
ganda.
parang meron silang pay it forward
Oo.
na ano.
So magpa-check up na kayo guys. Kailangan nyo. So let us all welcome Dr. Gang. So galing siya sa half marathon kaya kumakain siya muna ng kanyang snacks at tubig. Wow! Which one is it? Galaxy Manila Marathon.
Yeah.
SM
I don't
mo
wanna
ah?
take it off nga eh. Kasi
Super Mos.
feeling ko parang I walk in and like, oh, fuck with this.
Sang SM
Run
to?
away from you.
Sang SM to MOA area?
MOA.
Baka naman mega mall ka lang,
We did
paikot-ikot.
MOA, and then, because I only did a half marathon today, it's until Binondo. What? And then we U-turned in that arco of Chinatown.
Half marathon is how much?
21K.
Whoa! Half
I know. I don't even like driving 21K. I don't even know.
But you like running.
I just did a full marathon on Feb 22. No, I hate running.
Why do you do it?
I hate
It's for your own
running.
therapy?
Yeah,
find it as your
parang
own
it's my
way
grief
to relax.
management. I hate running, Kay. Like, you won't believe. I'm a court player, so I only run 3 feet, 3 feet, front, back, side, side. I hate this, but I've been grieving. I've been grieving a lot. We lost my mom, and then 7 months after, I lost my dad, and then Kidlat, my best friend, died in Madrid. And then there's Basti, who also died in Madrid. I think Madrid kills Filipinos, ha? Kasi so did Carlos Celdran.
Talaga?
Anyway.
It's their way of colonization again, but backwards.
I know that. Hindi pa ba kayo tapos magpatay ng
Oo
Filipino, konyo? Anyway, so, and then another friend, PJ, who's like daily. Sabi, I'm on grief overwhelm. And
So how do you run while grieving? Are you crying?
No, because like my glutes are more painful than my heart.
I get it.
Yeah, I really think it's the explanation for, is it okay? Trigger warning. I think it's also the explanation for self-harm, ah.
But
I'm
not
kidding,
doing it-
because when my glutes are painful, my mind is there. Instead of like
On your
missing-
butt?
Well, yeah, actually ano siya, posterior chain. So it's a lot of muscles at the back. But I get it now. Because my dog, my Frenchie died, and he's the most beautiful Frenchie in the world. He died May 26th, and it's only June 13 today. And the very next day, I called my friend Ouija. You probably know her, Laksamana. Ouija. And I asked her to tat my dog's name.
Is it your first tattoo?
No. My first
have
is my
tattoos already.
mom's
Okay.
signature that I used to forge in my report card.
Para hindi mo na makalimutan.
I know. My mom's like, how'd you get my signature? I'm like, you don't want to know.
Stamp na rin yun eh. Pwede ba na ganun?
So I went to Ouija and I said, my dog died yesterday. She had a French bulldog too. And I said, let's get that Justice, that's his name, right? Actually, my dad was a justice, but this is the more important. Justice is the dog. And I said, can you not put topical anesthesia? It was great.
Wow.
And then I was like, sakit. Then I realized, oh, that's the relief. Because your mind is feeling something else.
It numbs your heart.
I get it now. I mean, I do not encourage it
connection
whatsoever. I don't encourage it. I used to find it like, what? But now I think, oh, yeah, I get it. I super get it. You know when people are
diversion.
sad or heartbroken and they get drunk and then they're angry drunk, they like beat up people, ganyan. They'd rather be angry than sad. Or they'd rather be,
Something
irate
else.
than hagulgul. Yeah, so meron pala tayong set of
Way of
feelings
coping.
that are most acceptable for us. Like I think
But is
Filipino
it in
men,
some ways avoiding the real emotion that you have?
you know, I wish it was as simple as avoiding, but I think it's my programming kasi tayo. I'll give you na lang example of my brothers. I have 5 older brothers and they're crazy. And I think my human ruin is caused by my 5 older brothers. I'm kidding. Of course, I love them. I see that anger and init ulo or whatever. And I realize, oh my gosh, when one is heartbroken, he's angry. If celos, angry. He's missing my mom because she died, sungit. So, may acceptable feeling to display and hindi acceptable yung hagulgul. So, it comes out. So, it's not as simple as avoiding eh. So, can I
Is it
explain?
the
Do I
hagulgul
talk
because
too
of
much?
they're guys and they're not allowed to
They
cry?
were never. Yeah, we're the stop crying generation, Gen X. Yeah. Imagine you don't even know how you feel yet your mom's already saying fix your face. Hindi pa nga kasure kung ano yung feeling ko. Parang ganun.
Baka it's easier to feel angry than
Well,
to...
that's one. And it's a programming
sad.
thing. The clearest metaphor is in your brain, it's like a home and there are many doors. Okay, the door to sadness, door to hagulgul, door to collapse, door to celos, door to irk, annoy, all the feelings there. I think for Filipino men, at least just my brothers, I'm sure they're more...
There are 5 of them.
I think they're more evolved Filipinos. Nakalock yung doors ng feelings, pero swinging door yung anger. So pag may umihip na hangin in the room, yun
Yun
lang yung
agad,
nag-uusap.
madali.
I mean, boyfriends are like that too. Like parang they're celos, but
That's a
they're
good way
angry.
to put it.
And then they're really fathers, let's just say. You mess up a bit, grades, whatever, and they're angry. But actually, they're sad that you're not doing well.
It's the most familiar feeling. Kaya siguro mas madali.
I think it's
The more manly
I think
feeling
it's the
that you can
feeling
expose
that's
to others.
acceptable.
Yes.
Or allowed to be displayed.
In society.
Some
Or at
extent,
least in your
like you,
family.
when you're really angry, you cry. Because it's not acceptable to be bitchy, but it's acceptable to cry. But you're actually angry when you cry. You know what I mean? But
Ako, pag galit pala ako kasi sobrang nanginginig na ako, tapos luluha na ako.
correct. But ang layo nun, di ba? Pero I think it's acceptable because non-Filipinos don't really want to be the sungit girl. Alam mo yun?
So, lalaki pala ako.
But you don't want to be bitchy. You don't want to be a cunt. So you just kind of collapse and cry. But that cry is anger. Right?
And I feel bad after for being angry.
Oh my gosh. Wow, how are you? Are you okay? Let's talk. Why do you feel bad? Because it's not acceptable.
Ha?
Because it's not acceptable.
I guess, or I feel bad.
Because
sometimes.
hindi ka forgiving.
Oo, parang
Oh my
ganyan. Parang dapat ako yung
In-upload
iba.
nung parokya natin yan sa brain mo eh. Oh, yeah,
Shout
yeah.
out to
Saint Alphonsus.
Saint
Oh, can I say
Alphonsus
something
Delegori.
about our parish church
Why?
name?
why not?
Do you know Saint Alphonsus
Yung magandang
Delegori?
simbahan along Eslex.
Skyway.
Yung para siyang, ano ba yung, it's like a
parang
dome and then
dome.
lots of glasses.
Okay, wait.
Magandang-
Ang saint namin ay si
Parish.
Saint Alphonsus Delegori. Do you even know him? No.
No,
Is there
why?
another parish of that name? I don't
No,
think
I don't know.
so.
Yes. Why? Ano ba siya?
Alfonso Light lang po kasi
You
kilala.
wanna know the reason?
Alfonso
Okay,
II.
this is just super unconfirmed.
Is he the patron saint?
But the factoids are true. Okay. I don't know if this is real reason, but the facts are true. St. Andrew's, Bel Air,
Okay.
too. You know, that thing in near IS. Ay, lumang IS. Ano ba ngayon?
Basta sa Makati?
Kalayaan. Yeah.
Jupiter side?
Was funded by Andres Soriano. So it's St. Andrews.
Oh.
And ours is Alfonso Zobel, I think. Or Zobel, or I think a cousin. So they named
After
the
them.
ones who
So I used to
funded.
think there was like a method to
Yeah.
choosing who the parish is, right?
Wala pala.
Baka meron sa iba, pero ito, parang St. Alphonsus de Ligoris. Seriously, who is he?
Alam mo sa amin, kung paano St. Vincent, nagpakita daw si St. Vincent sa amin.
Buti nga yung mga ganyan eh. Sa Dupax daw, ng Biskaya.
Parang mas That's about as real as funding.
Put up a church here, sabi niya.
What?
Ito
How
wala,
did
walang
you
basis.
think churches were named?
Wala. Out of the inspiration from
siguro
the parish
yun.
priest.
Nagmumulto lang sila.
Apparition naman ang tawag.
Feeling ko parang kailangan may equal distribution. Parang,
Of the saints'
oh,
names.
Oo nga, no?
Hindi
Paano
pala.
kung Padre Pio lahat yung gusto natin?
Oo nga, no?
Di ba? Pero saint ba si Padre Pio? Parang hindi.
ngayon, saint na yata
Saint na siya.
ngayon. Nandun siya sa Vatican, yung incorruptibles. Anyway, sorry, I knew you had a topic. Hi! Welcome to Ladyboses. Wait, can I say something? If you're clicking, do they click it? Yeah. If you're clicking this, we're actually recording on the 13th of June, 2026. But you're probably clicking this from the future.
Yes.
So if you're clicking this 5 years from now, hi, from 2026. So if there's anything that's erroneous and there's new studies by that time, just say, oh, how dated,
Yes.
and it's fine.
It's a good
Hi.
disclaimer. Our topic for today is about mental health. What made you start studying about mental health?
Five brothers, remember? No, I'm kidding.
Each one is a case on its own.
Yeah, actually, I will really advise this for people. You have to choose a job or an area of study that helps you. Yeah. I think it's me. I had to understand I think my default is depressed, but it doesn't look it because we mask. Like you're guilty nga when you get angry. So I wanted to I think I'm fascinated with depression because I'm fascinated by joy, which is so fleeting. Parang ang bilis nito. Because ito tumatambay. Parang I was so curious about that with me. And
Ilan taong ka nun?
Ang
Teens or working already?
20 siguro. Kasi before you reach 20s, parang you're in denial that you're depressed, right? Because you're functioning pa. And then
Did you have a prior profession prior to become a therapist?
Yeah, I was a writer actually for Esquire. And then I worked with the media. So I was in NBC in the States. And then for a while, ANC. But ANC fired me. It's a long story. Along with Twink Makaraig ng damay ako. So dalawa ko din na-fire. Kasi patay na siya eh. So ako lang.
Okay na
No one can prove it. No, parang I was the last hire of Maria Ressa before she left ANC. And then I was the first fired. Yeah, we had one. So I am primarily a writer for sure. And then in media. But I really prefer research. Yeah. Ganun din yung acceptability. I really wanted to study science. But then my parents will say, oh, but you're so eloquent, you write so well, why don't you be a lawyer? The usual, diba? Kasi my dad's in the judiciary, so I obeyed. I mean, I didn't obey. I thought it made sense, Oh, no. And so I did a nonprofit. I started a nonprofit in 2005. It's called Rock Ed. I don't assume you know about it, but it's about rock and roll, cinema, etc., and promoting being more nation involved, right? Kasi in my generation, Gen X, yung nation involved young ones are either religious or leftist.
Oo nga.
Yeah. You're either anti-Marcos or you're in Antioch or whatever. I wanted a space yata that wasn't political strictly and not religious. I wanted a space where people can volunteer. So it was, what better field? Music. Because
Naabutan niyo yung Rock Ed. Ako naalala
Rock
ko yung Rock Ed.
Parang naalala ko siya.
paka-kids kayo nun. 05 to 20. Kasi kasabay niya yung Millennium Development Goals, so 05 to 2015. And I really wanted to start, you have to start if you want to start a movement, I was a lot younger, so I was very ambitious. I used big words like, I want to start a movement. Of course, now it's like, what?
Kami ang nagawa lang namin, bowel movement eh.
Yeah, I like. It's so important, by the way. Anyway, I think I wanted to start on a standpoint of point of pride.
Okay.
Point of pride. Because there are many things we're
For the
embarrassed
country.
about. Filipinos, we're,
Until
by
now,
nature,
of
our
course.
default is we're jahe. We're jahe that some of us steal. We're jahe about our government, whatever, a Senate. Wow, diba? We're always embarrassed. I wanted to start on a standpoint of pride. And sure, pwedeng beaches, nature, sure. But nobody argues with music eh. Filipino, bar none.
Yes.
World, I shit you not.
Video okay.
Pwede akong mag-blindfold, mag-point na ganun sa EDSA, magaling kumanta yun.
Except sa amin. Dito marunong ko.
Hindi ako magpo-point doon. No, but you know what I mean? So, I think it's a high bar. I mean, it's a high point. Yeah. And you chin up when you start with music because nobody argues. We're excellent in music. Weird. We're pitch perfect. We have a rhythm sense. It's crazy. So naisip ko, doon tayo mag-start.
Oo nga.
Kasi nobody argues. Nobody argues na magaling tayo. Tapos the burgeoning OPM scene pa yan. 05 to 2015. I think it came at a really good time. Big events were happening. NU was, the thing. And I had a radio show with Lourdes on NU. Yeah, it was called Rock and Radio. It was like slightly political and wow, we got into trouble and like meron ako running tab sa KBP. Kasi may badders. Yeah. So that was really my person of letters, but I really wanted to study science. Yeah, but again, acceptability. They're like, what will you do with science? You want to study the brain? Why? Parang ganun. I'm like, what? So I go back to what I said at the start. If you're gonna get into something and you will devote your time to it and study it, it's gonna be your field. I hope you choose a field that supports you. I study the brain, I study depression, trauma, etc. 70% of that backs me up.
Really? You're your first
I'm
patient.
learning, right? So I hope you find a job that actually keeps you afloat. So may balik. Inaalagaan ka ng field mo. Parang ganyan.
Kaya pala, kasi psych din natapos ko. Pero sabi ko, bakit yung mga teachers ko, sila yung parang may problema. Sabi ko, bakit? Sabi ko, sila, parang very ironic nung time na yon, nung nag-aaral pa ako. Sabi ko, bakit itong mga teachers ko, sila pa yung may kailangan ayusin sa sarili nila and they're the ones teaching us. Tapos as I grow old, parang tama nga yung na-realize ko. Tapos ngayon sinabi mo na parang this one helps me.
Yeah.
Yun, tama.
Dugtong ko lang, what are the usual misconceptions about therapists? Na wala silang problema sa sarili nila.
I think people think therapists are all right. Are you kidding? Why do you think we became therapists? Because everything's fine in our lives?
I used to have a misconception that therapists are always composed. That they just sit there, listen.
The decorum of professional hour, for sure. But there's no better way to learn a disease than as a patient, actually. Yeah. Well, you can learn. There are two ways to learn about the disease. The doctor's point of view and the patient's point of view. But the patient has texture, and yung mga nag-escape na maliliit na pains kasi hindi siya theory, di ba? So, yeah. I also became a therapist because when I needed to go, I really didn't want to admit I was depressed. I think it was just staring me in the face already, 2014, 2015, because my mom had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And that's enough to kneecap anyone because she will have a facial expression na hindi ka niya nakikilala. It's the most sci-fi feeling of grief. Like, it's like she died, but she's not. So, I knew I was depressed, as collapsing left and right. But because we're formidable people, we mask and we still manage. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna figure this. I mean, bahala na. I'll go. But my husband His name is Jay. His mother was a psychiatrist. My half brother, actually, in the States, is a psychiatrist. And he kept saying, you're depressed, ha? Kasi Jay grew up in the States, so he's very comfortable with it with a psychiatrist mom. I said, what? No, I just need to nap, parang ganyan. But I realized I couldn't find the therapist for me.
What are the usual signs to find out you're depressed already?
Things that usually make you okay or happy don't work anymore. If you used to be really happy with milk tea and then now no, but I'm gonna, because that means you had a mechanism that was working. Yeah, I'll go to Pilates and then you come home happy. Ito kahit nag-to Pilates ka, hindi pa rin nag-move yung needle. That's one. Kasi we're so smart. Our brains are so smart. Ever since you were young, you had mechanisms to handle the day. And then eventually, things are not working na.
Pero what's the difference of being burnout dun sa depression?
Okay, burnout usually indicates a zone. So either you're burnt out at work, you're burnt out with a friend, or you're burnt out with...
Specific
Yeah.
situation.
And it's usually overexposure or... I guess like shoes, it's always hitting the same spot.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's why usually it's one place. So burnout, usually it's used for work generally because you can still do the function but wala na yung viva. Parang ganun.
Fire.
Yung depression is so funny. People always think depression is a number line. Happy, not so happy, neutral, sad, very sad, depressed. They think that's the number line. Not true. Not true. It's a different line. Depressed is not very sad. Okay? It's so weird because depressed is actually an energy level, an interest level. It's not sad generally. So
Interest level about
I can
life?
be I can be depressed, but I'm on the dance floor. I can be depressed and I'm hosting a party and always going, right? So it's not always, an affect. And there are people who are pretty cool. They're not depressed, but they can stay home and watch Netflix. So hindi siya happy sad. It's energy level. Does that make sense? So depressed is you don't movement is one that goes, ano ba tawag nila doon? Locomotion, like you stop moving. Ano yan, you don't you're not excited to get the sampayan. So movement yung unang nawawala eh. So ito yung nakahiga ka lang, ganyan. It's different from tired. The next is you drop crucial things that you never dropped before. Does that make sense? And then it goes on for a stretch of time. Yeah, so that's... there are many definitions, of course. You can always Google that. What I'm trying to be really... I decided before coming to ladyboses that I would like to talk about stuff that you can't Google.
Yeah.
Just not waste your time. So of course you can just Google the bullet points of what depression is. But for me, depression is your mechanisms to survive and manage don't work anymore.
Okay.
Okay, that's one. Second, you drop daily duties and obligations. Yeah, usually it's motion. You don't get up. And then hygiene. It's hard to hygiene. That's one. And by hygiene, I don't just mean like bathing and whatever. I also mean sleep hygiene, diet hygiene. Yeah. So a regulating human needs some cycle. Okay? You sleep, you wake up, you exercise, you're tired, you eat gulay and then you can have a brownie, but then you pause on the brownie, then tomorrow I'll eat salad. There's a variation in a cycle.
And awareness that, okay, I can't have
Talagang winter, spring, summer, fall tayo eh. May problema if you stay in summer. Does that make sense? You every day.
Brownie.
Correct. Yeah. We're not meant to stick to one. If you eat chicken every day, you'll develop an allergy at some point.
Akala ko pakpak.
Manananggal.
Drawing.
You'll magde-develop ka ng allergy at some point. Why? Kasi your body needs a variation. Yeah. Crazy, no? So, yun yung isang indicator. I also think depression would be you're not capable of joy. Like nothing makes you happy.
Sparks joy. Ganyan.
I don't know about the sparks. That's a crazy verb. But normal things that would make you smile, Kebs. Does that make sense?
Ginagamit pa ba yung Kebs ngayon? Ano
I
may
don't
Kebs?
know.
Keber. I know that
Kebel.
Keber.
Yeah.
Care Bear
It
yung
doesn't matter.
pinagmula.
Parang
I don't
ganyan.
care, Care Bear,
Look,
Kebs.
when you are okay, not being not depressed, your friend's son wins a spelling contest and you're
I
happy.
don't care. Okay, when you're not depressed.
Yeah. You can be happy for other people. And you're like, oh, I don't really care about anything, but you wanna nix nanalo. ganyan. It minsan when you're depressed, kahit crucial yung joy, you're like,
Kahit
Oh,
about
meh.
you yung joy. Kahit about you.
Parang may...
kahit about you. Yeah. So meaning, I'll use metaphors because it's easier. Your brain's sponge is so saturated by not sure what. Maybe you're worried. You don't like that you're gaining weight.
Fearful.
Your loved one left you. I don't know. It's so saturated. Kahit bumagyo ng joy, wala kang na-absorb. You need to
Yung
squeeze
emotions
it out.
wala
You need
na.
to squeeze it out. That's what I mean by there's a cycle. Dapat
How do you
sinisqueeze.
squeeze it out?
Squeeze out the negative
Good
emotion.
point. There are many ways. Of course, humans are really designed to relate to other humans. I mean, no matter how fascinated you are with solitary people, and I like eating dinner alone. It's true, I do too. But we are intrinsically designed to have an other, not a lover necessarily, but
Other person.
company. First of all, we're humans, Homo sapien. So let's go back to caveman, okay? Yung caveman. Kung mag-isa yung caveman, he's in danger. Kasi sinong gigising sa kanya, like, andyan yung predator. Diba? So, yun pa lang, alam mo na kailangan may salitan and may tao, right? So, that's why, weirdly enough, our brainstem, which is still the caveman's brainstem, we didn't change since then. Our bodies didn't change since then. When your barkada doesn't invite you to lunch, and you see the picture, and they're all having lunch, it's like sharp pain. It's almost like death. And then I ask you, did you want to go to that lunch? No rin.
No naman.
No rin naman. I mean, di ba? Pero
But hindi ako in-invite.
okay kayo. I guess nagtapos na kayo ng college, right? You see high school friends and then they have on Facebook like nyong nyong nyong. And you're like, oh, but hindi ako in-invite doon momentarily. Then you're like, ayoko rin naman sila kasama eh. Pero hindi mo ma-deny yung unang reflex. That means, by design, we feel safer when we're in a tribe. So when you ask me, what can we do? Socialize. Yeah. I don't know what that looks like for you, but hopefully you make connections, etc. We're really designed to be with others. Yeah, of our kind. So weird. So when we feel an isolation, like yun nga, yung lunch di ka inimbita, you come home and no one's home. You know, it's so weird when you're a child. Mom's always there, right? And then one day you come home like, yung tao, may... Okay, minsan meron kang, yay, I'm alone, I'll watch whatever, di ba? Meron naman nun, pero merong laging very primal feeling of, So what do you do? I'll turn on the TV, parang may ingay,
Entertain
right?
yourself, yeah.
It's really weird. And that's not a meow modern thing. It's hardwired in our biology. It's in our biology now we feel safer with another. Yeah, crazy, no? So that's one. The other one, it sounds really basic, but I can't emphasize this enough. Move. Like really your hand, your arm, your neck, kahit stretch lang. Move. Kasi your brain understands. For example, can you lift your leg? I like your skirt. Anyway, sorry, ADHD. So you moved it, right? Your brain said, what your leg did to your brain is say, okay pa tayo.
Boy ka pa.
Hindi ako paralyzed. Because how crazy when you have a stroke, you want to move your leg and it's not moving. That's scary, right? So whenever you raise your hand or your arm, you're like, it's
You're
like
fine.
it's sending a signal to my brain that I have a range of motion and I'm all right. I'll give you another example. You might be like crunchy shit. Like because when you crunch, there's a vibration in your jaw.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And when that vibrates, it sends a signal to your brain. I'm strong. I'm not afraid of predators. I can bite. It's a strength thing. That's why toothaches really fuck you up. And other than that, you know when you're sick and you can only do,
Or you
juice
sip
or
lang.
Soft
shake.
diet, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a real signal of strength and virility when you can chew.
Munch it.
That's why we like it. Not only when you're on weed, but it's really nice. We don't do drugs.
Pero weed, you don't chew them, do you?
No, you don't chew. You chew
nasa brownies.
chips while you're on weed. I don't know, but so what am I saying? There are vibrations in your body, there are movements in your body that you think are nothing. Are you kidding me? It sends a signal to your brain. What? I'll give you an example. There's a haunted house or whatever. It's the only example I could think of. And then I'll say, di sama ka sa akin. Yoko. Di lang ako pupunta, right? If I say, punta tayo sa haunted house, tara! It becomes fun and funny. Like, I shit you not, even your pulse rate changes when somebody says, yeah, let's go, samahan kita. Right? Because, again, it's not magic or not even religious, but I'm sure, I don't know, if you believe in God, yay. It's really biologically hardwired. You feel safer when there's an other. Yeah. A roller coaster. Same.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I know. You laugh. Lalo na when you come down from the roller coaster, tatlo kayo, umahalak kayo. When kanina lang nag-freak out ka na parang himatay, and then when you come down, why? Kasi apat kayong mukhang tanga shrieking. That's really tribal cohesion. I belong. I'm safe. Yeah. Now, it doesn't dismiss that you need alone time, of course, or intermittently, you need alone time for sure. Like, I hope you poop alone, right? but you need to understand it's not a poetic thing. It's in our biology.
Awesome.
Yeah. Crazy though. What with dogs? I mean, I love my dog. I miss him. I don't play with him 24/7. I'm just happy he's there. Even nga, I don't see. Alam ko lang nasa next room. So, yeah, people always say about parents like, oh, I should have spent more time with my mom. I should have taken... There's so much fabricated regret, But I'm thinking, no, your mom was okay that you were in the next room. You were okay when your mom's in the next room. You don't have to be always delightfully playing mahjong 24/7 or hugging her or coffee heart-to-heart talk. Part of the presence and love and security is just silence and just
being
just
near.
there. Yeah.
Just so you know, she's also there.
Crazy. Yeah, I know. We really fabricate regret. We say, I should have taken her to the movies more. I'm thinking, why? There are movies she doesn't want to see. But we always have this thing that baka dapat together. Gusto ko, hindi mo ba alam? Sobrang happy and cool ng mommy mo nandun ka sa kabilang room. So if you don't live with her naman, alam niya nasa phone book ka. Yun lang, happy ka na eh.
Saka alam niya na pagtawagan ka niya, andun ka pa rin.
Right? Yeah. So there is that. So what did I say? Socialization, moving, and also sleep. Sleep. You have to remember when we don't sleep, that's
Favorite niya yun.
when we don't sleep, you face the day with half the gas tank. How can you manage the other stuff? So again, it's hygiene, sleep hygiene, diet hygiene, social
Pero
hygiene.
yung iba po, di ba, excessive sleep naman pag depressed.
Oversleeping already.
Yung pag-bring up mo niyan. If you want to know if you're depressed, like you're not sure, what are you overdoing or what are you underdoing? That's a good question. Because nga, a regulating person needs, winter, spring, summer, fall, 33.3% if it's only 3. There must be something you're overdoing or underdoing. That's when you know you're not even keeled. Yeah, that's a good question.
How many hours? Like the entire day?
I don't
12
know.
hours. It
It's
depends
up
on
to
the
you how you
person.
decide if you're overdoing or underdoing. You should. There's no metrics to it. I think there's a feel for you. Like, what do you think you've been underdoing
Ikaw lang
this week?
makakapagsabi.
Sorry, therapy, you both. What do you think you've been underdoing
Takot
or
ako bigla.
overdoing? Okay.
Siguro po overeating. Overeating.
Overeating for you. Kasi
For
you
me.
think you could stop na at some point. And,
Parang kung gutom ka lang talaga.
Hindi
Appetite
ko,
mo ganun.
Feeling ko
yeah,
yun
may metric siya
Siya
for
na.
herself. She feels she's overeating. What do you think you over or underdo?
Oversleeping.
Sleep. Okay.
Ako
Okay, what do
coffee.
you avoid kaya while you sleep a lot?
Ilang hours ka ba? Nakailang hours of sleep ka?
Minsan umaabot nga ng mga 12.
Okay
Mga
lang, it's fine.
15.
Baka may sleep deficit ka rin from when you were a kid, when you were younger.
Siguro.
May galing ng brain parang
Nahabol? Pwede ba
Oo.
habulin
Pero
yun?
naiinis ako.
Hindi siya pwedeng habulin in a strict sense, pero parang your brain knows may deficit ka. So, binabawi mo. Grabe, ang galing ng accounting system ng brain eh.
Pero naiinis ako kapag hindi ako productive.
Sino nagpa-praise sa'yo pag productive ka?
Nagpe-praise sa akin?
Oh.
Praising?
Oo, praise.
O ikaw?
Sarili ko.
Sarili mo.
Assessment din.
Siblings mo, mami mo.
Hindi.
Or that's what you're known for.
Siguro
What's a productive day for you?
Kasi
basta may
we are
ma-accomplish ako.
something when we're admired, honored, adored, and praised for it.
Siguro
When you were a kid, nasabihin ka, masipag yan.
wala naman akong problema when it comes to yung affection, yung praises and all.
Anong non-productive for you?
Yung wala at all ako ginagawa.
Bye ka lang.
Like, parang may gusto akong gawin, pero bakit hindi ko siya sinisimulan? Yun. So,
Kasi
parang pag
minsan
hindi ko siya...
nga is super productive eh.
Oo. Yung iniisip mo, you're planning. Pero kapag, kunwari, meron akong plan for the day, tapos hindi ko alam kung ba't hindi ko... Frustrated ako na hindi ko siya sinisimulan. Tapos, end of the day na, dun ako naiinis. Na bakit hindi ko siya...
Kaninong calendar yon? May deadline ba?
Wala
kang to-do list eh.
Wala.
Okay.
So, siguro
That's really
procrastinator
interesting.
lang talaga ako.
Ang alam ko lang, may sarili kang decision making na not in the logic eh. It's somewhere else, like feelings or something. Pag hindi ka nag-work on a project that day, kahit sinabi ng logic mo, I'll work on it. May iba siyang pinakinggan. May the fatigue or hunger or something. We're not ruled by logic, guys. Sorry. If we were ruled by logic, you will all be jogging at 6 a.m., eating okra, whatever. Obviously, we're not ruled by logic. You date the worst people and then, we're not ruled by logic. Combination siya lagi if you're lucky. Every now and then, nakikinig yung amygdala mo sa logic, but every now and then, you're not. So, meaning, may ibang decision maker for you, not logic that day. And I don't mind. Listen to it.
Oo, katawan.
Body, correct. Or for others naman, I'll really be efficient or whatever. Or you'll say, I'll really nap. I mean, I owe myself a nap. I should nap because I've been resting. But I don't nap. I'll just keep working kasi ang decision maker ko ay pinipraise ako ng mom ko pag masipag ako. Minsan kumukuha pa rin ako sa gasolina na yun even if I'm older na. And, so do you see how it works? Yeah. May kanal kay, alam mo sa bowling. Kahit nakita mo, pupunta siya sa kanal. Does that make sense? What are you overdoing or underdoing?
Coffee. Is it
Do you like the
overdoing?
smell, the warmth?
Smell, the taste, the effect
the
after.
effect on you?
The jolt.
The jolt. Okay.
The pawis kilikili.
There's probably also an attachment to the ritual of you like the cup, you like the brew, you
Yes,
like the sound,
yes.
you like the smell.
Yes,
That's pretty
everything
cool
that
kasi
goes with it.
sensory ang coffee eh. But why do you think you're overdoing it? Do you think you should cut down?
I think so.
Okay, why?
Because I read somewhere that the stress,
I
tama
don't
ba?
really mind who you read. I want to know how your body feels with coffee. Kasi baka you're not overdoing it.
I sleep late because of it.
Okay. So that's probably one.
And then sometimes I get that feeling also that I need every day to be productive. I don't know where I got it. Maybe because of my corporate
Parents?
background
Your
also.
corporate
That
background.
every day needs to have a certain achievement.
Oh,
You have to
wow.
take off some task in your list. So in days that, for example, I need to rest, nahihinayang ako pag wala akong nagawa after.
Do you have a to-do list?
I do.
You should put nap and tunganga on your list and check it at the end of the day.
With tululaway pa.
You said,
Gawin mo
mga 15 minutes. Check. Because it is a task.
Oo, ganda. Gawin mong to-do list no?
My
Isama
to-do
mo.
list always has tunganga somewhere. Or like, stupid scrolling 15 minutes. Check! Pag lumabas ako ng 15 minutes, which is always, I feel, overachieve. Good job. Ganda. Ooh, I went beyond. Parang ganon.
Gang, what do you think about people who loosely use the word trauma, for example? Nowadays, kasi hear it a lot. And not because of my trauma. Pero what is the real definition of trauma?
Again, like depression, people think depression is very sad. Very, 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 very sad. And trauma is a harrowing experience. I think people think that's trauma. We cavalierly use the word. You're right. So let's agree on trauma. Okay. Ang trauma, it's not the death or the
Physical abuse.
trigger, sorry. Theft, somebody. So that's the trauma. That's the event.
Okay.
That's a traumatic event.
Okay.
Okay. Trauma is what it leaves behind. So what do I mean? You know, in CSI, signs of trauma. Diba? How did they die? Oh, may blunt force trauma. O kaya knife wound. They define, right? It's the mark it left. Right? So if you now never date a basketball player, you were possibly traumatized by a basketball player. Does that make sense? So it influences your decisions down the road. So may iniwan sa'yo.
Oh, STD.
So if you're lucky, at least it was worth it. Right? So mo kung yucky yung sex tapos may STD ka, oh my gosh. Anyway, I have this friend, she hasn't had sex in a long time. I won't say her name, but it's actually Ria. No, I'm kidding. I'm not actually, that's her name. One time I asked her, hey, how are you? May bago siyang Bumble, whatever. Kamusta ka na? Nag-cross legs ba naman? Sabi, eto, may UTI. Sabi ko, ikaw lang yung narinig kong masaya. Ibig sabihin, may sex life siya ulit. So, I'll go back ha. So, ang trauma is, it really comes from the word wound ha. So, in the Latin and Greek root. It's not the event. So, war, those are the traumatic event. Right?
Okay.
Trauma is what it left behind and what kind of decisions do you make na
coming out of
responding to that pa rin. Kasi yung trauma is kung ano yung iniwan niyang mark. Yeah, does that make sense? So, if you got bullied, but you're in high school na, and you got to shout back, that's probably not gonna be a trauma for you kasi you got to shout back. Most traumas are really childhood because the characteristic of trauma is you were helpless when it happened. So that's actually the number one trait. It becomes traumatic when hindi ka nakapalagi, hindi ka nakasagot, hindi ka nakasuntok back, hindi ka nakasigaw. So there's a lot of people who, I think that's why we like meow-meowing online. Like,
I like the term yaw-yaw.
para lang may nasabi ka, hindi ka helpless. Yeah? Because when we were kids, obey ka lang eh. Opo, smile, opo, and then you obey.
Gusto na pag-usapan.
Right? So meaning, characteristic of trauma, number one, is there was an event and then it left a mark. Okay? And it doesn't even have to be dire, like war or murder or whatever. It could be as simple as a tita that says, "Ang taba mo" on a regular basis. Right? We all have one. I have 3 actually.
Hi there, my name is Earl, and I'm the host of Philippine Campfire Stories. After this episode that you're listening to, baka naman gusto mong mag-check ng mga horror stories sa mga folklore and urban legends na nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Mga true horror stories shared in a manner na hindi ka naman matatakot pero ma-entertain ka. Go ahead and check out Philippine Campfire Stories, and we have over 200 episodes just waiting for you. See you there!
So trauma is really a wound that was left behind. So war, rape, theft, those are the traumatic events. So trauma is, how does it influence your life till now? Now, I wish we were always aware. Like you said, ayoko mag-touch ng bamboo kasi na-splinter ako. Yay! Na mere fact na trace mo, it ceases to be your trauma. You know? It's talaga. And so, ano yung isang characteristic? Helplessness. Yeah. The second is, there's built-in shame. There's built-in shame. I was saying earlier, sometimes it's when you're inappropriately touched, it's not really the touch, right? Because my boyfriend touches me more than that. It's the helplessness na hindi ko siya na-stop. And that That's what makes you feel shame. Okay, and when there's shame, what do? You keep it secret. You don't tell people, right? Jahe, di ba? Parang ganyan. So the helplessness that you didn't defend yourself, you didn't stand up for yourself, that's the shameful part. Now, I think everybody who's been inappropriately touched or abused, invaded physically, we agree now na it's the offender who should be shamed, right?
Yeah.
We agree now. I know it's hard because by instinct we feel, oh, we're defiled. But that's the Catholic Church. Keep quiet. It's the offender that should be shamed. But the shameful part is hindi ko dinefend
Nagawa ng
sarili ko.
paraan.
Hindi man lang ako pumalag. So ano yung shame doon? Yung lack of self-protection, self-sufficiency. I didn't have agency. Ang tanga ko. We always say that, right? But that's so that helplessness, shame, and when there is shame, you keep it secret. And what did I say earlier? How do you manage social? Ikwento mo, right? And I really hope you tell people who will take care of your story. If something traumatic happens to you, I wish you all clarity in choosing who to turn over your story to, because too many people are reckless.
Baka
with
madagdag pa yung trauma mo.
or they use it against you, or they'll know it's your soft spot and they'll, hindi lahat is out for your welfare eh.
Yeah.
I think that's also why therapists make sense, because you pay me to really hold your story
Yeah.
and himay it with no bias or agenda other than you getting better or handling it. Now, how does nagkakwento, how does it help? You probably felt one time in your life, first time ka nagkwento. Like, sorry, first time ko lang nasabi to. Pero nung malita ko, yung mami ko, binelta ko ng walis or whatever, yun na. Ngayon ko lang sinabi, and then there's a relief, right? Okay? Because the minute we nerds mo, once you put a traumatic experience to words, let's just say, my boyfriend embarrassed me in front of his family. Let's say, yun yung story. Pag nakwento mo na words mo, nasan area yung words? Logic. Nasa vernix, Broca's lobe yun. May words dun sa logic. Walang words sa feelings, guys. Walang words dun. It's just sensory. Kaya when you smell, you remember your childhood, di ba? So, pero once ninarrate mo, na-activate mo yung logic side of your brain, which is executive function, it helps in the heavy lifting. But when you don't say it, you just do this. You just ilag. Let's go to see a movie. Na, it's okay. Ang bilis mo mag-no kasi may trauma ka sa theater and you're not saying it. So it's just instinct. It's just movement. It's just ilag. Right? Weird, no? But it's kaya helpful mag-narrate ng difficult thing.
Is it different when you just type it in social media or just really verbalize it?
Parang,
of course, helpful yung you write a diary or you do it in form of fiction or film, of course, because you verbalized it din eh. But, what did I say? Your body and movement, there's really much to be said when your throat and your tongue feels the vibration of the word. Like, honestly, my sister was mean to me. Just to say it, nag-inon mo. Inon mo yung story. Does that make sense? Pero helpful magsulat. Kaya lang, I'm a fan of making your body feel the vibration.
Because we're all stand-up comedians. Sometimes our stories, we verbalize it through jokes. Do you also encounter patients who are funny using it as
pero wait
mechanism?
lang. Ang difference kasi sa amin, hindi yun yung exact story.
Of course.
Oo nga, no? Tinitweet
You
mo to
will
make it
do the
funnier.
diagonal,
to have a
diametric.
punchline.
Does it still help kahit
I
ganon?
think so,
Kahit
yeah.
hindi yun yung
Hindi
the
siya
total
as-
truth.
Yeah, if you think about it, para kang
Siya full honesty.
nagre-release ng drop by drop, but still nare-release mo. As
For the thought
opposed
process,
to, as opposed
remembering
to
it
what?
and writing it
As
down.
opposed to what? Shame, hiding, secret, not verbalizing. Yeah. We're funny. I think I'm funny. We're funny, lately. We're funny women. That's because we're not strangers to sadness. I think we know the dark. That's why we're funny. You know,
We
people
do the opposite. We
swear,
know the opposite.
people who
Hindi,
were
nabuksan natin yung door ng being funny.
people who
Kwento
were
niya tayo.
loved and cared for, they're the corny ones. They're not funny. You know what I mean? Like, parang minahal siguro nung bata to kasi hindi siya funny eh. Why? We need to be funny to what? Entertain, get a reaction from family, be noticed, and not neglected. And I'm not saying everyone. If you're funny and you were loved, good job. But
Happy for you.
majority, the well and the coin of sense of humor is really in darkness, and like the fog is on the
Tama
other
yung
side.
theory natin dati na lahat ng stand-up comedians may sayad.
Super.
Super.
I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Why? You had to entertain your family members, your tita, your mom. You had to be the funny one. To what? To what? To de-escalate a tense household. Oh, come on. Why would you be funny if you never had to de-escalate your dinner table?
Why will you work kung hindi mo naman kailangan?
At saka instinct sa atin yung funny. Instinct kasi magiging hehehe. Kasi yung option nun,
mawala yung
walling
tension.
eh. Oo.
Wala yung tension.
Or the baduy tampo. Like, so funny na lang. Grabe. Ay, baduy tampo.
Accepted.
Kasi yun yung acceptable. Ang galing mo mag-reroute. Oo, totoo.
Diba?
Because
Kasi
we express
pwedeng asar ka, pero gagawin mo na lang funny kasi hindi
You know
pwede,
why?
hindi ka pwedeng maasar eh.
and you're still maintaining
Or
and accommodating the feeling of the other. But
Or
not
pwede
yours.
pwede siyang pumasok sa sarcasm din.
Sure, yes.
Or baka lalong magalit.
Hindi.
Kaya sa
Ay,
funny
hindi.
na lang
I know
ako.
what you mean. Yeah.
Para to accommodate the
Parang
feeling of the other.
sarcastically
Para tumawa
funny.
na lang siya.
Pero you're
ganun.
still accommodating the feeling of the other talaga. Alam mo yung parang, I guess Devil Wears Prada. That's all I remember. The parang, okay, go ahead, move with the glacial space. Pace. You know how I love that. There's sarcasm. But what you really want to say is, tangin ang bagal mo, game. But you don't say it. So pwede siyang euphemism, which is what? You accommodating the feeling of the other. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's kind and considerate and default. But I think, what did I say earlier? If you overdo it or you underdo it, then there's a problem. So I wish you clarity that you know when you can be sarcastic and know when you can be straight up and say, no, not going, because it's too tiring to be with her. I mean, you should be able to say that. But then there are days you want to accommodate the feeling of the rest of the barkada and you say, ay, ano naman, uphill ako eh, tsaka baka PMS ako nun. You will come up with something else, right? But what you really want to say is, is she going to the lunch? I'm not going because I can't be in the same room as her. That's what you want to say. So two ways yan. Either you're funny, you're sarcastic, you euphemize it, or you lie. I have a dental appointment. What? Diba? But it's okay. I mean, like I said, cycle siya. We can't always be, super straight up. But I really think we're all familiar with the dark. That's why we're funny.
Shucks.
Yeah, I'm
Never
not
thought
saying
of it
we're
that way.
depressed or like, what's
But
the
something
word?
happened probably
Mali-
in our homes.
I don't know if something happened. I just knew you had you have a role, which is de-escalating a tense situation. That's usually who the funny kid is. That doesn't mean you were like nothing. It's nothing like that. It's more of role mo yun.
Bunso ka ba, Gang?
Of course.
Lahat tayo bunso.
Bunso ka rin?
Bunso. Yes.
Oh
Technically,
my
bunso.
gosh.
Kasi may brother, malayo yung age gap namin eh.
Bunso rin ako.
Pero sige.
I have a
So,
question
ano
now from
yun?
our listeners.
Role yun?
Role yun
mo?
probably, no?
Oo,
As a bunso
role
to
mo.
entertain.
Kasi may role din yung mga ate. Napansin mo ba? Sila yung, I don't know,
Yung magsungit.
drill sergeant, ganyan. Oh my God.
Mamita,
Can we just talk about eldest sisters? Wow. They are like, immovable, inflexible, never wrong. My eldest sister's wild. I mean, I love her. I'm just saying that. But wow, so inflexible. I don't know, kawawa rin sila yung inassign sa I don't know.
Iba yung expectation din sa
Yeah,
kanila.
pero...
Oh, Gang, I have another question from our listener. Justine, shout out. She was clinically diagnosed as OCD. And then she also has this concern of people using OC very loosely. So can we also define what OCD is?
Wow. If let's get the word first, obsessive and compulsive. Wow.
disorder.
So that's obsessive and mabilis.
Okay.
So compulsive is, you can't help it. Yeah. And then the D is disorder. So disorder, there's a lot of narcissistic traits, obsessive compulsive traits. It doesn't, ADHD traits. It doesn't have to be a disorder.
Okay.
Right? I think we all have everything,
Okay.
by the way. We all have everything. Bipolar traits. Pwede
Okay.
yun. When does it become a disorder? There are lines like you really drop daily duties and obligations, like you left your child and you didn't pick her up. That's ADHD. You disorder yun. Kasi responsibility mo yung toddler eh. Pero pag mali-mali ka lang, you forgot yun, you have to go back to get
So
your
we can
key.
use the term as long as we say traits.
Trait.
I have
Yeah.
ADHD
Yes.
traits.
So
I can't
I have
stop
OC
anyone na
traits.
from the vocabulary.
Okay.
So, pwedeng trauma rin ay nag-a-allow na ako ng matutrauma ako nito. It's a
Okay.
possibility.
Okay.
Because
Okay,
most of the
okay.
time, trauma is concealed. You don't even know it. Di ba we were asking earlier when we were off air na, how would you know if you have trauma? If you have a repeat pattern that you're very sure you should be stopping, but you can't stop it. That means iba yung decision maker, hindi logic. May fear ka, may piniplease ka. There's probably an audience in your head. So OCD, your friend, if she has obsessive compulsive disorder, that means may mga na-drop na siyang balls enough to see as a professional, like a psychiatrist, right? OC is so different from neat, orderly, systematic, categorizing your I don't know, your books.
You have your own
You
system.
put your library in color code. I mean, that's just organized and that's just proper.
So I can say OC ako.
Oh, OC traits.
OC
Oo.
ako.
I have OC traits. No, why don't you just be more accurate and say I'm very organized?
I don't want
Kasi
my hands-
organized is
getting
different
dirty.
from obsessive compulsive,
Okay.
Yung obsessive compulsive, hindi lalabas ng door unless in-on-off ko yung switch 12 times.
I heard.
Ako, ayokong lumabas ng door dahil ayokong hawakan yung handle.
Germs.
Oh,
Germaphobe
so
ka.
ever since you were young?
No, hindi. After itong
Magkahabing
COVID.
Ay, yan ang trauma na naiwan na mark sa'yo ng COVID.
Oh my gosh, na-trauma ka sa COVID.
Oo.
Na may iniwan siyang habit sa'yo. May iniwan siyang mark
So,
sa'yo.
hindi siya OC.
Hindi. Alam mo yung disorder? It's really, it comes with fear. It comes with fear. Like, I think I will die if I don't on off the switch 12 times.
Oh my God, okay.
And so they do that over and over and over and over. And they come out and then,
Na-check
did
ko
I
pa
really
talaga?
do
Oo.
12? I'll come back again.
the
and
entire
do
day
12.
isipin mo pa
So
rin.
it's paralyzing again. No flow, no movement, etc. So that's the disorder. And you shouldn't use it freely because it's really debilitating to be obsessive and compulsive. Think of obsessive people. And then make them compulsive. That makes sense. You know how people are really obsessed with, I don't know, RuPaul, whatever it is you're obsessed with. And then compulsive. Let's say you're obsessive with pickleball. All ADHD people, we study, we read, all your YouTube is that, ganyan. See mo kung may compulsive disorder ka, kahit 3 a.m. maghahanap ka ng court to
gosh.
play.
Oo.
That's what I mean. Hindi siya light. You can't be using it lightly. For you, I think one of the key tips I want to leave is like, you have to be really specific and accurate when you describe yourself.
Okay.
So just say, I'm really organized when it comes to my book.
This one. Oh, yes.
You can't just blanket,
Cite
I'm
the
OCD.
So you
scenario.
specify.
Yes. Oh, can I just say, specificity limits judgment. That's a really big line.
good.
That's a really
Ganda.
big line. For example, remember, be really specific. Don't say, oh my gosh, ang tanga ko. Ang laki naman ng blanket ng tanga. What you really should say is, alam mo, okay, nag-email ako tas may typo. Email kanino, dun sa boss ko, ang specific ng fault, di ba? So, hindi mo ginudge yung sarili mo. Or you can also, I mean, by instinct, you can just use for now or for this day. Or parang,
Why is that? Yung self-talk ba has a major impact to our brain
of
also?
course. Oh my gosh, I wish I could that. For example, if I say, ang tanga ko kasi eh. And then you say, bakit? Hindi kasi naiwan ko yung just tell me na naiwan mo yung susi. But when you say, ang tanga ko, ang laki ng blanket, and your brain hears you over and over, it believes it. Alam mo yung automatic mag-sorry? Ay, sorry, ang linis. Ay, sorry,
Oo.
ang dumi. Ay, sorry,
Oo nga.
yan lang yung sorry. Sorry.
Shucks, ganyan ako.
Oh, yung
kahit
bunso
ako yung
ganyan.
oo. Ako yung nasagi, pero ako yung magsasorry.
Oo.
oo nga.
Bunso ba yun? Ito pa. You plan a barbecue and then it rain. Uy, sorry, umulan. Why? God ka? Ikaw ba? Nagpaulan? No, but you say, sorry umulan sa barbecue ko. What? Meteorologically explained yun. But you say, sorry. It's maybe when it de-escalates a tense room when you were young, so automatic you say sorry. Right? Now,
na lang yung nagsorry.
why do I not want you to say sorry when there is no fault?
Why?
Because your brain, it doesn't know sarcasm so much. It will just hear the word. It will just, kaya yung galing, di ba? It will just hear the word. So if your brain says, oh, parang I said sorry 18 times today, I must be an awful person.
I'm always
Kasi
at
ang
fault.
alam nung brain, nagsasorry ako when I offend. But you keep saying sorry, you didn't even offend anyone. So meron na ring self-belief doon.
Na ikaw lagi mali.
Yes, and kala mo wala lang yun, but if it's on repeat, you really start to self-deprecate. And then, ikaw nga na nga yung sinanggi, ikaw yung nag-sorry eh. Ikaw yung nasangga, ikaw rin yung nag-sorry. And so you really have to practice, was there a fault there? Should I say sorry? Or you can say, this might be nothing, but earlier I left the pantry open. Now, you don't have to say sorry, but you can say, I left the microwave open. Is that all right? So it's a question now. Like, it's not, uy, sorry, naiwan ko. Like, again, your brain starts to hear the word sorry over and over. And it knows that the meaning of sorry is I offended someone. And if you say it 100 times, your brain will say, oh, I offended someone 100 times today. But you can't leave it up. So specific. So instead of saying, God, I hate birthdays. Birthdays are awful. I mean, my birthdays are always awful. Actually, if you want to be accurate, you say, I think I had like 65% of my birthdays are pretty okay, and there's 35, if you want to be accurate, right? But no, you say, I hate my birthday. I don't like celebrating. Na blanket mo na. You don't even give chances for good possible birthdays. So, specificity, it really limits judgment of what? Of yourself. And also with other people, by the way, with your kid. You with your nephew, I can't say, ang lampa talaga nito. You say, we save adjectives like that. But you actually say, uy, si ano nadapa kanina sa siso. Kasi medyo steep yun. I-specific mo. I-specific mo. You can't round off. But the brain is so efficient, it wants to round off all the time. Diba? Parang sa palengke, 64, 44, 65. Diba? Yung round off mo. For me, to stay mentally regulating, try to be really tingi, like precise. So you say, alam mo, ang sungit ko kanina, between 3 to 3:45. As in, i-limit mo na para alam mo na on other occasions, you're not sungit.
But it takes really practice every day.
Kasi ang dami nating habits rin na efficient.
Kailangan i-unlearn.
Efficient kayo mag-isip eh. Pero it really helps to be specific. Like, even when you're trying to love someone, you can't just say, he's always late, or he's so irresponsible. But you should say, pagdating sa laundry, hindi siya talaga okay. Pero alam mo, maaga siya Yeah, it makes you less, blanket, general judgy. Then there are chances for relationships, to happen. It's weird, I know, but these are things that I wish people told me when I was young.
This episode, I think I'll re-listen to it every now and then. This episode with you. Kasi ang daming learnings na kailangan ko lagi.
Tsaka libre.
We understand everything.
Libre therapy.
So what are you overdoing or underdoing, right? So that's a pretty good baseline. You want to know another, like, really, really helpful tenet. You should pay me for this because it's like 11 years of research on the brain. And I realized, oh man, I found it. Other than the overdoing and underdoing. That's pretty brilliant too. But this one, God, I'm so proud of my research. Can I say, when you are in a rut, whatever that is, you're feeling, I haven't lost weight or whatever it is, you have to say, do I need rest or release? Because if you need release, and you napped, you will say, oh, 8 hours na, tulog, hindi pa rin ako. Then you start to feel helpless. Right? Okay, what do I mean by release? By default, kwento. Or, ano. So I'm in a rut from losing my dog. And do I need rest or release, right? I knew I needed release. I ran a fucking half marathon today because I wanted to feel something worse than losing my dog. If I think, oh, let's just rest. Let's book a weekend in Dumaguete and just stay in the show. Oh, what? Are you shitting me? I will feel worse when I come home. So can you see the error? If you make the error between rest and release, it's a crazy big error. It will give birth to other layers of problems. Why? If you needed pala to nap, but you partied, you will come home thinking, I have no friends, I don't make a connection. I was lonely in a full room. You know, doesn't make sense. But if you nap when you needed to nap and you had coffee when you needed to have coffee, you're kind of on the way to soothing yourself, right? So how do we know the difference? Please know that there's no one formula for you. None. You will need either a rest or a release, socializing or alone. You can't say, bag ako, I just stay home alone. No. There's always a cycle. So, ano ang tip? Ito yung tip. You know the line, D, no one's watching and no one cares. That's a line, right? Like of the Stoics or whatever. If you say, bakit? Socialize. Okay? But if you flunk a paper and I say, D, no one's watching and no one cares, yay! Good. You can stay alone. Does that make sense? So if I say, I won a spelling contest and somebody says, Gang, no one cares. No one's watching. What? Why? I'll go out and say, D, I won a spelling contest. Right? But then, there are days where I have a faux pas, like I really make terrible mistakes. And they say, Gang, no one's watching. Yay! Then you stay home and watch Netflix. So that's the rest. And then there's the release.
Ang galing. That's
Grabe yung pagka-distill nun, you have to understand the brain before you understand. So, those are really helpful, I really think. Ask yourself, what are you overdoing and underdoing? And if there's one or the other, find a way to cycle it. Do it a bit, do this a bit, replace
And
it
this
with
is
this.
yours, right? You discovered this?
And then it's my research.
Yeah,
And
this is
then
from my
do this and then do this and do that. Because if you do something on repeat, that is overdoing. And that's when you see the OCD. You eat the same food. You will develop an allergy because your kidneys will say, why are we eating this again? Right? You need a variety. Sorry. So the second one is you have to go back to the line of Epictetus. I think he's the one who said it. He's Stoic. He says, no one's watching and no one cares. Yeah, that's not always a sad thing. Sometimes I'm really happy. Right? So if you say, yay, ibig sabihin, you're on the right path. You know, just stay there. It's fine. But once you say, I won, I play golf solo with a friend from Baguio every year and she beats me all the time. But then one time I finally won and then nag-pandemic. And then pagbalik, she just started beating me again. Yung pala bago yung tuhod niya, stress, diba?
Surgery.
But then I did really well there and I said, you know, I hit under 100 in golf. And then they say, Gang, no one cares. I'm gonna go out and have lunch with my friend and here say, guess what? You know. But if they say, no one cares, I'll name a mistake. I got a research grant that I fucked up because my parents were dying. So this particular school, I just said, sue me. Go ahead. I lost my mom and then my dad. But I'm a little embarrassed because I rarely drop research grants, but I did. So when I told someone, actually, I messed up on this research grant, I didn't actually mess up. It just wasn't good. And they say, Gang, no one cares. Yay. So some days that's comforting, and some days you're like, why? Why does no one care? That's how you know when you should socialize or stay home.
Galing.
That is when you know when you need to release or rest.
I said galing, but I really meant
Galing. No, you're not my older sister, so I kind of like that. Grabe. We should have an episode on eldest sisters, ha? They're never
Where can
wrong,
we find
they're
you?
never wrong, ha?
Yeah, my sister
Never
never.
know. My tiered sisters,
Bionic
it's
brain.
hard. Yeah. I know her. We
Stanford.
were in Palo
Netflix.
Alto at the same time. Yeah, Sanford with sila Annie and CP.
Oh, yes, CP.
I
CP.
know.
Kapatid ni
God,
Karen
your
Davila.
sister is a genius and she's in charge of the
Hindi,
satellite.
kapatid ni Cara David. Namimix up ka talaga sila.
Okay.
CP.
Where do you
Where can we find you? Where can
Can
the
you not
listeners
find
you?
me?
You don't want to be found.
Sabihin ko sana, please hesitate to contact me. I don't know. But why?
Okay.
I don't know. No,
You're-
it's fine. I do have a clinic in Makati.
Okay.
Sorry. I have a clinic in Makati, and the research lab I run is called Project Steady Asia, and it's clinical research, which means I see people. Yeah, my specialty is trauma, whether it's physical trauma like a car accident or etc., which really changes, if, like the micro strokes of my brother. It changes the demeanor, or on repeat. That you didn't even know you had, but it was already changing the shape of your brain. Di ba I said to Kay,
Yes,
tama, Kay,
Kay.
earlier, para kang bowling kanal. Kaya ang tapan mo, pupunta yung bola sa kanal. Oh my gosh. Once you have a thickly drawn line of belief systems, anything I say, you will say, ang tabako kasi, right? You'll say that, like, uy, pickleball tayo. I think she thinks I'm fat because she wants me to play pickleball. Yeah. Or they'll say, wag, rest na lang tayo, doon na lang tayo sa hammock. I think she thinks I'm fat. That's why she didn't invite me to play in hammock lang. Or, let's go lechon kawali. I think she thinks I'm fat kasi ako yung niyaya niya for lechon kawali. Uy, let's have 1 week na we're vegetarian. I think she thinks I'm fat. So she asked me to Can you see the fixation? That we have obsessive fixation on thoughts. Who planted that? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think you'll know, or maybe I don't know. Hopefully you trace it so that you can thwart it. But we do have these.
Do we have to trace back where it came from?
No,
Not necessarily.
good news, you
Okay.
don't.
Okay.
It's just good to know na ito yung pattern ko na I'm not
Okay.
changing. Sometimes it helps when you know the source, especially if let's say the aunt who was bullying you died na. Pwede rin yun. But then even the people who've died, they still echo in your brain.
Yes.
Do you need to figure out where the trauma came from? Good news, no.
Okay.
No, it's helpful enough that you identified it. If of course it always helps if you know where the source is, because what's it called? Pathology, you know where it came from. Yeah, I give you my maiden name is Badoy, right? So it's for a long time I didn't renew my driver's license, and I have a new license now, MMDA, to be clear. So I had a Mang Estong who would drive me around the whole time of Rock Ed, 17 years. And then tamad ako mag-renew ng license, and then total may driver. And then nag-pandemic, he retired and went to the farm, and I'm thinking, shit, kailangan na mag-renew ng license. I really thought I was one of those ADHD things where you don't like forms and you don't like lining up. And then, pero wala na akong choice. I have to drive. So, so I had to renew my license. So I went to LTO, and it's like pulling teeth talaga. And I'm there and I did everything. And then they called for my turn to get my driver's license. And they said, Capati. I just realized I got married. That's right. I have a different last name. Capati. And then it hit me. I think as a child, it was so traumatic when they say Badoy and then the clerk laughs. Or the assistant of the dentist, they giggle. Badoy, right? Syempre, wala naman sa akin yun. Ang galing ko di ba?
So you were expecting a laugh after Kapati?
I didn't even know. That's actually why I don't renew. Because I was avoiding, as a child, situations like that. I remember people who would laugh at my last name, the librarian, or people who don't know me, or people who don't know my family.
And how
Pero
to
if you
pronounce
know
it?
us, parang it's okay, Badoy or Badoy. It doesn't matter. Usually it's the people who don't know me because I'm Gang Badoy. I'm the shit, right? I made it normal, di ba? Parang ang hirap playground, tapos yung apelido mo Badoy, tapos assumption ka pa, di ba? Social ng mga friends ko. But I managed it. Yeah, I was funny, I was reliable, I'm never in style and I'm never out of style. So, wow, grabe yun. And then when I got my license, I said, ang dali lang pala nito. Then it dawned on me na I do avoid situations where there are strangers or admin where they don't know who I am and they will laugh at my last name. Kasi Baduy, right? Then I realized, may Capati na nga pala ako. And I wasn't even aware. That's a classic example of, yay, I found the source of my trauma. By trauma is what you avoid or what you over or underdo. Grabe, sobrang hirap. But you know how I solved that? Alam mo, kids are mean, you know. When your last name's, your last name's funny, grabe, di ba? We're so bullied. I was an athlete, so my last name's always here, right? I don't care. So, may mga kalaban kami sa gals or UAAP, like, Badoy, ano ba yun? And I'm like, yeah. Sino yung nanalo, di ba? Tapos makinis legs ko sa'yo. Tapos, galing ko naman. So meron akong fight. I fought it. Kasi the other option is never to be an athlete and your last name's not there. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
when I was a kid, I would fear competing in other schools kasi they didn't know me and they'd laugh at my last name, right? And I was a kid. And then you have no choice. And I just decided, you know what? I'm going to be super reliable as an athlete and I'm going to, and they say, Badoy, sino nanalo? Nanalo nga ako ng spelling contest, di ba? Yun yung peak ko as a child. As a human. And I beat a 7th grader. Yun na yung peak ng life ko, by the way. Downhill na after nun. So does that make sense? I mean, it's so vulnerable that I shared that. I mean, but it's not. It's just academic. I wanted to share with you na meron kang ganon. Sa akin, apelido ko eh. Because people who know me, they know I'm smart and my dad's, whatever. Except now it's really hard because I have a half sister. Anyway, maybe that's another episode altogether. But I found a way to live around it, not to be bullied, and I formed a personality around na I wasn't prone to be punned, the pun of my last name. So nakuha ko yung intricacy of dealing with it, Hindi ako super uso and I'm reliable and I'm the athlete and I'm funny. I don't really threaten anyone. But then if it's a stranger, you get giggles like, assistant ng dentist, si librarian, etc. That's really a vulnerable thing. Then I decided to fight it by having my apelido at the back, like, Badoy, that's me, right? Parang ganyan. It's not always a success story, of course, but I think you have something like that, an immovable thing about your identity or you or your person or your family maybe. Hindi mamumove. I can't change my name, but I did get married, so yay. And whatever that is, we all have that. I wish everybody would rearrange furniture around it because we can't make it disappear, especially if it's family or trait, like you really have, you're really blonde or whatever, you really have one eye color difference than the other. So may mga immovable things in our lives and you don't have to love it. That's toxic positive. I say, no, you're gonna embrace it. There is that. I wish you other furniture to build around it. And then one day you'll just realize, wala na pala yan sa akin, it's okay. Does that make sense? Pero lahat tayo may ganon. Something immovable, whether it's because you're too tall, you're kulot, or whatever. Di ba ganun you can't change that eh. Kasi ano yung option? You lie, you fib, you don't reveal. You're jahe, you don't want to say you're from this province, or you don't admit you're from this school, and then you get found out, and then it's worse, right? So we're really pressed to live as honestly as possible. Yeah. If I had the choice, hindi ko sasabihin yung apelido ko sa pogi, di ba? Kaya ako nag-Amerika kasi wala naman yung meaning ng Badoy doon, di ba? Yay! Praise the Lord! Having a buck. No, it's not a joke. It is a joke, but it was tough, growing up. But we figured out how to live with it. Hopefully you have methods to live with it too, and not necessarily hide it or fake things, because when you get found out on a very basic fib about yourself, like, oh, I'm really the youngest, but you're not. Yung mga basic, ha? Ba't siya nag-lie, di ba?
Booking ka agad.
Ang lalim to dig out of that, eh. Oo. So just like, practice it na lang. Like, parang,
Specificity.
Specificity. Correct.
Judgment.
Grabe, hindi lang ako ba din na apelido. Ang pangalan ko pa, Gang. Shit, right? Everything about it.
The therapist.
Pero galing sa
The
gang.
rapist gang.
Galing sa pangga. Yun eh. Tapos therapist pa ako sa Bilibid.
Oo nga daw.
Tapos Gang yung pangalan ko. Sputnik Gang, Batang City Jail Gang. Grabe. But, I live with it.
What's your real name?
Therese.
Ba't ang
Actually,
gang?
Teres. Pangga.
Oh, cute.
Pangga. Palangga. So, if you think about it, it was a difficult set of cards that I got, you know? But, I think it's pretty great. My mom used to say, I think that's why you don't dress weird. Kasi with my
You don't
personality,
stand out?
with my personality, you think I'd have red hair or it's fine. But no, I look so normal. Like, if you see my pictures as a kid, ito rin yung suot ko. Chinelas, ponytail, ganyan. My mom said, I think you have this quest to look super ordinary and you just blend. You don't really want anything because your name is Gang Badoy. I'm like, yeah,
Para
right.
hindi
I
sabing
don't
Badoy.
need to have
Para
a
hindi sabing Badoy.
I don't need to have a stage name. Actually, if I sign my art, it's Gang Badoy. Voila, I don't have to. Yeah, I know. I have friends who
Sounds
are
great already.
great, like really modern surrealist artists, and their name's Jennifer, and they hate it because Jennifer is so
Basic.
benign, and me, I'm Gang Badoy, right? I can draw a sunset and it's still edge, right? So there's that thing, but please. No, I'm turning 55, so I can wear this really well now. But it wasn't always this easy. It was a balancing act. I'm just really glad I did not choose to paralyze or hide. That's why movement is a thing. Yeah, I did have occasions where I'd fib stomach aches so I don't have to go to another school and because science fair and then they don't know me there. Because I'm really nice. In my school, they don't make fun of my last name because I'm nice. But you can't. So, dalawa lang yan, I lost the science contest because I didn't show up because I was too afraid. That particular day, my fear of being laughed at won. But sometimes you will let it win. You just hide. But ever since I became a national athlete, parang apelido ko nakaplasta sa likod eh. Parang, then you just wear it. No. So,
Mas maayos
It
naman
gets
yung
better.
kaysa kay yung basketball player na Bulbul. Remember what? Yeah.
I don't, is he,
He's still
UAAP
playing.
ba yan?
No, PBA.
Oh, wow. Okay. But I don't know. I should marry him. Imagine. But I bulbul, grabe. So,
Gang,
no.
thank you. Do you have
I
any?
talk so much.
No, it's fine. Advice for our listeners.
Oh my God, didn't I just give it?
Oh yeah, that's
Specificity.
Dami, specific.
No. But you might have one question each that you always wanted to ask a therapist but were afraid to ask.
How do we know when we need to get help already clinically?
I think when you drop a major thing already, like work,
Okay.
friend, you didn't show up for a friend, you don't accord appropriate action towards your parents, or yung major things, may mga na-drop ka na. And sorry, we do that all the time. I think if it's sustained, like 3 months na ganun pa rin, does that make sense? Because we all slip up, right?
Okay.
So how about, when to seek professional help? I think when you're already jeopardizing your source of living, like your work, and also if you're in the same spot, tas ang tagal na. And movement, if you're not going out of the room or you're not,
Okay.
How about you?
Can we self-help? Like, can we
Read
read books, ganon,
meditate,
tapos,
pray.
oo.
Long-term
Or do we
wise,
need to,
can it be
to
helpful
talk
also?
to someone?
No, you don't need to talk to someone. However, I discourage using your friend as a therapist. I really do. First of all, you don't pay them. I'm kidding. No. Your friend will only have one agenda. He or she will want to comfort you.
Okay.
So when you say something, they won't tell you what you should hear. Yeah, so you need to pay someone who's no agenda in your life.
no bias.
And I'll say, you came to me because you have a fracture, so I have to tell you, you have a fracture. But your friend, no. I'm sure he likes you. He's just shy. But as a therapist, I'll say, 6 months na hindi pa tumatawag.
Wala na yan.
Alam mo, unless yung dila niya wala sa tenga mo, hindi ka gusto nun. But your friend will not say that. So, can we self-help? Yeah, of course. I mean, you can always try what works. Yeah. Basta move. Move. If all else fails, walk. My favorite Latin phrase is solvitur ambulando, which is it is solved by walking.
Wag lang sa EDSA, baka sa gitna ng EDSA.
Ay, wag sa EDSA. Bukod doon, mauuna yung pulmonary
Ambulansya talaga yun.
Ay, okay na po ako. Same lang po
Same
nung kay
kami na
Dee.
question.
When to get help.
When
Same
do we
lang
know
po
it
nung
that
kay
we
Dee.
need to get help already?
Why are you not seeking help? The best time to go to therapy is when you're fine.
When your mind is clear.
Yeah,
to
when
speak
you're
up.
fine, because you can clearly explain, you can clearly explore. I really hate it when they come to me and they're like bleeding and dying. All I can do is revive them. So we never get to talk about it. When you're reviving someone in the ER, you're pumping their heart. Nobody ever says, alam mo, you need to eat carrots. You don't get the real, alam mo, you have to walk every day, get sunshine. Toot, 1,000, 1,000, clear. Toot, it's really good to have friends. No. You cannot go. All I can do is revive you. Sayang your money. You have to come when you're kind of okay. Kasi you can explain. It's really therapy. When you're open in surgery, you do not go to PT. It has to be sewn up first. And then you're walking weak, then you go to the PT. So it's better to go while you're still moving. I really think the best time to go to therapy is when you're fine.
You have Zoom.
Yeah, well, because of the
Consultations
pandemic,
also.
that's kind of how it started. I was really focused on just inmates of the maximum security prison. But the pandemic happened and the Duterte took out my permit. I'm not his favorite. But so I lost that even if we were there for 11 years. So I wanted to just research mice and large data. But over the pandemic, I always had friends who say, can you see my daughter? Can you see my son? Then Zoom. But I realized I prefer face-to-face because I can see your micro expressions. You can also see me because we regulate when there's another person, right? And Zoom is so hard. That's why Gen Z has a blank stare. You know what the blank stare is?
Yeah.
They're used to hearing shocking news and their camera's off, so they don't need to react in real time. So that's why they have blank.
Tulala.
Ang Gen X, pag nag-joke ka sa text, kasing haba nung ha-ha-ha. And then pag may isa pang batch of tawa, may dalawa pa. Right? No one does ROFL with no facial expression except the younger. So I really prefer not on Zoom. I think it's really tiring. But if there's no choice, of course, we do.
Ang ganda.
Yeah, I really rather research this. So if you want to come for therapy,
Makati Clinic.
you don't need to go to therapy. I just need you to come so I can explain how your brain works, and then you take it from there.
Ganda.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're called Project Steady Asia. That's the name of the clinic.
And then for every patient, you have a therapy with a teacher?
Oh,
or
yeah. I'll say, if you come
PNP?
to therapy, because I charge, because I'm really good. Well, yeah, actually, I am. I charge, and my clinic is in a really comfortable place. I charge you Boston rates, because that's also where I'm registered. But every paying patient sponsors a public school teacher who handled a suicide or a PNP cadet or military. So, because it's a nonprofit setup. So, that's why I moved to a really comfortable clinic in Makati. Kasi, when I was in a simpler clinic, they're like, ba't ang mahal? And then when I moved to a major ritzy clinic, they're like, okay, I'll pay. And I'm thinking, dude, ako rin yun, ah. I mean, pag
paying for me.
kahit nag-therapy tayo sa Cubao, ako pa rin, magaling pa rin ako. Hindi ko alam kung magaling ako. Actually, maraming magaling na therapist. Kailangan mo maghanap ng bagay sa'yo.
Tsaka nang fit kayong dalawa.
Yes,
Magkakaintindihan
ano yung
kayo.
fit? You don't mind her voice, you don't mind his or her voice, you have same vocabulary.
Tsaka siguro yung tiwala ka dun sa therapist mo. May tiwala kasi.
Mas mahirap maghanap ng therapist kaysa mag-bumble, So, if you go to a therapist and it bumps out, please go to another one, and then another one, and then another one. I don't want you na pag ill-fit yung first, ayaw mo na. Hindi naman nag-work yung therapy. Gusto ko sabihin, hindi nag-work kasi mali yung pinuntahan mo.
Oo, huwag kayo matroma.
I had to go to 4 or 5 when I was depressed during the Alzheimer's diagnosis of my mom. And then I realized ako na lang. Aralin ko na lang. So I went back to school. And ang hirap maghanap ng therapist. Kasi you think a certain way, you're funny, you think in sarcasm, in metaphor, you think ganyan. And then when you meet a therapist, tas baka footprints in the sand ka di ba? So parang, footprints in the sand. Okay naman yung footprints in the sand, pero it has a market. But you need someone na who will get you. Yeah, who will get you. Because you half the time you don't get yourself. So it has to be someone that you say half a sentence and they get it. Yeah, that's why we study. And we're not psychic. There's just set patterns of humans. Yeah, people are saying, how do you know that? I'm like, we fall under talaga Excel file of patterns. So yay, hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time.
Thank you, Gang. Thank you so much. Kaya mula sa kaboses nyo na coffeeholic at may ADHD traits, si D. Traits. At straight.
Mula sa kaboses yung nakalibre ng therapy, kay Asko.
Wala sa kaboses nyo, sorry Justin, hindi ako OC. Pero may OC traits.
Kasi pagdating sa, ganon. Specific.
OC pagdating sa
Pagbukas ng pinto.
madudumi sa kamay.
Kami ang
Lady Boses!
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.